What's up? Fix my camera here. What's going on? I'm Daver with Fragrance Bros. How's everyone doing? See, we got Rich. Hello. Feed the duck and he will watch. There you go. How is everyone doing today? Got a few people here. Hey, Rich. What's going on? Ryan Huerta. Hey, how are you doing, man? Always good to see you. Rich, I love it. I love having you. Thanks for coming on. I'm doing pretty good, man. Can't complain. Thought it'd be nice to do an evening live video as opposed to a midday video. Get some more people from my time zone. Thank you, Rich. I love doing these lives. I think they're great. So trying to do more of them. Hey, Noah, how are you doing, man? All right. Got my Taylor Stitch shirt on again. Do I need to say Taylor Stitch every week? I love this shirt. So cool. Of course, I got my water, my sparkling water. This is LaCroix. I got the coconut this time. Coconut is actually really good. I like this a lot. This is probably one of my favorites from LaCroix. Got it on sale, so I had to get it. No problem, Ryan. Definitely going to do more. And I do want to do some news live, but I just thought this week would be more kind of, be better to do a first impressions of the Gallivant line, which is what I'm about to do. Thank you, Noah. I appreciate that. Noah says, I'm doing great, looking good as always. A little bit of the bubbly, says Rich Mitch. Yep. Casual Fragrances, how are you doing? He says, hey, David, how are you doing? I just blind bought Mugler Amen Cryptomint. It smells good, so good. Rich, I actually don't have a scent today. I went scentless. I've been freeing my nose today, I guess. I don't know why. I should have worn something earlier. I went out, so me and my son, I probably posted this a little bit before, but my son and I, we really like disc golf. So there's a few courses here, really good courses here. And my daughter has gymnastics, and every week we go to her gymnastics class, and there's a disc golf course right there. So I should have worn fragrance when I went to go play disc golf with my son. He's getting really good too. The Curious Perfumer says, hey everyone, hey, how are you doing? Curious? Rich Mitch, did you know the French take a day off of wearing perfume every week? Seems like my kind of culture there. Moto Andy says, Ice Poseidon made you. I don't know what that means. That sounds like a line from a sad song. I don't know. The Bureau, Nerdy Fragrance Reviews. Hey, how are you doing? She's in the house. I'm going to go check out her channel. I think Casual Fragrances has a channel too, right? Are you right? Isn't that right, Casual Fragrances? You have a YouTube channel, right? Anyway, I've got a sampler. Gallivant started distributing in the U.S. recently, and I'll get to some questions in a minute. So Gallivant started distributing their fragrances in the U.S. So they just gave me a sampler. Here is the Nomad set, and Gallivant has a really interesting point of view. They name their fragrances after certain places, certain cities, and I think that's pretty neat. And then there's two more in the line that was not in the Nomad set. That is Los Angeles and Amsterdam. So all of them are named after cities. So we have Berlin, Brooklyn, Istanbul, London, Tel Aviv, Tokyo, Los Angeles, and Amsterdam. So really curious to see what these smell like. One of the cool things is they have kind of what they smell like here. They don't really give notes, but they give kind of like the accords. So on Amsterdam, it says floral, spicy, woody, flowers, freedom, feeling cozy. So we'll try that. We'll come to those later. I'm going to try them in order here from this box. So let me go ahead and try Berlin. You know, it's funny. I lived in New Hampshire for a while, several years ago. And in New Hampshire, there's a city in northern New Hampshire called Berlin. And I lived right outside Berlin for a while. And it's kind of there's hardly anything there, at least when I lived there. It was an interesting time. All right, let's smell Berlin here. Not Berlin. It's funny, in Berlin, there was a paper factory, so everything smelled like sulfur from time to time. All right, so Berlin smells woody, citrusy, spicy, sexy, modern bohemians, it says. All right, let's see. Oh, wow. Right away, I get kind of I get a lot of lemon. And, okay, hold on a second here. All right, so I get a lot of lemon. It reminds me a lot of fragrances similar to Dior Homme Cologne. There's something else in there. There's an herb, I don't know what it is. It's almost like a tarragon thing in there, but there's an herb in there that's really nice. So it adds a little bit extra kind of herbal qualities on top of kind of the Dior Homme type of thing. That's really good. I like that a lot. Really excellent. So we're off to a good start already. So yeah. All right, so that's Berlin. Let's go to Brooklyn real quick. And Brooklyn is, they describe Brooklyn as fresh, citrus, musky, the fizz of an urban playground. All right, let's try that real quick. Brooklyn, got the right one, yep. I saw that Roger Dove posted something on Instagram today talking about spraying fragrance on a fragrance card on paper. And he was talking about it in a good way. Oh, wow, okay. There's rose in this. It's like that Play-Doh rose type of thing, but there's also like a cola type of thing. What is that? It almost smells like Coca-Cola. So there's rose and there's Coca-Cola. There is something fizzy in there. That's interesting. Citrus, musky, fresh. That is really good. Almost, what is that? Something a little bit, it's like a clove almost. Slight clove thing going on in there. There's gum. I forgot what it's called, but there's this clove gum that you can get, like little penny candy type of thing they sell in the States here. And I forgot what it was called, but it tastes like clove, but it tastes really good. So all three of those aspects. So there's like that cola type of thing, Play-Doh rose, and then like a clove fizzy thing. Interesting. All right. Let's answer some questions real quick, give my nose a break, and we'll try some more. Matty I says, what's up, David? Hey, what's up? Serapio Silva is here, and I'm already warning him because I'm pretty sure he's a troll, so we'll see how it goes. Moto Andy says, do you still not like Viking? No. I think Viking is not great. I don't think it's terrible, but it's not really good. The problem with Viking is that it was packaged in a way to be similar to be kind of in the family of Aventus, kind of, and I didn't find it was at all. Ahmad Davis says, evening, Daver. Are you a fan of any of the Initio Parfums, Rahab, Absolute Aphrodisiac, or Oud for Greatness? I have not tried them. What's funny is I had a dream the other night that I saw Initio Parfums and Ex Nihilo Parfums together. And I was like, man, I really need to try those because I see them from time to time. I remember in the dream getting some. And I was like, wow, I've really got to try it. I've heard great things about Oud for Greatness. I may have tried one or two from them, but it didn't leave a strong impression. But I need to go back and look. Serapio Silva, glad to be here. Please don't kick me out. We'll see. Be nice. Rich Mitch says, I wore a Valentino Vendetta today. Interesting. How was it? Serapio Silva, son of the day, Pinot Silvestro. Serapio Silva owns one fragrance by Gallivant. Interesting. Da Vinci's Alchemist says, hey, been thinking of picking this kit up myself. Excited to hear about them. Yeah, so far, really interesting. I'm only 2 deep, but I like them so far. Rich Mitch says, do they sell sample packs? I'm pretty sure they do. So I'm pretty sure you can get the Nomad set. And Rich, I know you live in the UK, so that should be pretty easy for you to get. But yeah, I'm pretty sure they sell the Nomad set. But definitely check out their store. And it's just gallivantperfumes.com, Gallivant-perfumes. All right, let's see here. Got some more questions here. I'm a bit behind, it looks like. Rich Mitch says, like the M7 Cola vibe, talking about Brooklyn. I don't know. It's been a long, long time since I've tried M7. I mean, it's been so long, I don't really remember what it smells like. Getting text messages here. Carl Latham, how are you doing, man? Noah Gioschio, sorry, Noah. Noah says, I smelled Virgin Island water for the first time today. It's magnificent. I held off for so long because I hated the Tommy Bahama St. Bart's. What do you think of Virgin Island water? So I believe I have a full review of that. Virgin Island water to me is good. I don't dislike it, but I don't love it. So it's kind of like the second or third tier for me for Creed. And the reason I don't like Virgin Island water, or I should say the reason I think it's okay, is because to me it doesn't smell as rich and luxurious as most Creeds can do. A lot of Creeds do, to me anyway, smell really good, and they smell set apart from other fragrances. To me, Virgin Island water smells really pedestrian, and it smells a lot like cheaper kind of pina colada, with lime type of fragrances that you can get a lot. And I smell that type of fragrance all the time, especially with women, especially, it's just kind of like a body spray type of smell, and that's why I don't really like it. I should say that's why I don't love it. I think it's okay. But also, too, to me, the scent itself is kind of kitschy. Like I think of like going in a tiki bar and getting a drink with a little umbrella in it or something like that. Like, to me, it's just so corny. I don't like the way it smells. I don't know. 2 on the nose. Juan Carlos says, when are you reviewing Navitus, man? So I have plans to. The problem is just time. So I have everything ready. I just need to do the review, but I have other things planned ahead of that. So I just got to do it soon. I have a lot of videos planned. Some of them I've already shot, and I just have to edit and release. And I'm going to review it soon. I don't know when. I'm just, just soon. All right, let me answer one more question, and I'll get to some more smelling here. Carl Latham says, have you tried Creed Rolfa? If you have, do you recommend I sample it? Carl Latham, I do. I mean, I have smelled it and I like it. It's not one that really stands out to me. I know some people really like a Rolfa. It's kind of their aquatic type of scent. So it's a citrusy, aquatic type of thing. and I think it's pretty good. I don't love it, but I think it's good. And I definitely think it's worth sampling. I know a lot of people really like it, so yeah, definitely check it out. All right, let's try another one here. I got Istanbul, and Istanbul is supposed to, let's see, they describe it as ambery, woody, spicy, east meets west. Okay, I can already tell there's going to be amber and incense here. All right, let's see. Istanbul. Yep, I can already smell it. Fragmental, how are you doing, man? I know you love it. Okay, yeah, definitely amber right away. Heavy, heavy amber. Really good amber, too. Really good. That's excellent. If you like amber fragrances, that is excellent. Resinous and thick, beefy, you know, that has that little bit of sweet. I don't get much else outside of just amber. That's fine. So I'm wondering if this whole line is kind of simply constructed. Because so far, it seems like these aren't super complex fragrances. And I'm not saying that is a bad thing. I'm just thinking that might be their kind of, that might be kind of their MO. Kind of simple fragrances to kind of describe certain places. Istanbul, excellent. All right. Let's go to London. Your stomping grounds, Fragmental. I don't know if you're from London or not. England. All right, let's see here. London they describe as floral green leather, touch of grit, dash of glam. Just like London. You're in London right now, nice. Ooh, that is really good. Really grassy. Grassy and dewy right away. And there's a flower in there. It's like a magnolia type of thing. And that it's like a white flower. I don't know. It might not be magnolia. It might be something else. Maybe like a lotus type of thing. But it's like that floral, that wet floral type of thing. And there is leather in there. The leather is really nice too. It kind of, wow. It smells like, so this really is like a certain place. This smells like, Talking Scent says it's rose and leather. It could be. It doesn't smell like strong rose to me though. Maybe that could be what it is. The leather though, really nice. So it reminds me of like fresh cut flowers, walking into like a really nice leather store that sells leather boots and shoes and jackets or something, and they have fresh cut flowers right at the door or something. It's like, that's really nice. That is gorgeous. London, wow. Crikey. You don't say that in London, do you? All right, let's see here. Let's go back to some questions here. A lot of questions. Goodness gracious. This is a good time, I guess. All right, let's see here. Roderick Maupin says, I would love to see you in more collabs. That last collaboration with Cam, Chris, Ash, Curly Scents, and George was epic. I loved it. You know, if someone asks me, I usually will. It depends on the type of collaboration, but something like that I'll definitely do. So I stopped doing some collaborations in the past. Like I did a lot of collaborations on my own channel, and I stopped those just because of the work involved. I did those every week, and I just thought that work involved wasn't worth it. But I love doing those, and I love promoting those channels. And then some people ask me to do some collaborations, and sometimes I'll just say no. So it really just depends on what it is that they're doing. But Cam had a great idea, and I'm glad I could make it. Vance's How-Tos and Reviews. Interesting name there. Says scent of the day, silver mountain water, and a dash of ombre leather. Interesting. So you're layering, I see. Dan T says, Arolfa is good, but not worth the price. Yeah, I think I agree with you. Of course, everything is kind of subjective. It depends on if you really love it. To me, I don't really love it, so I wouldn't buy it. Carl Latham says, Tokyo and Tel Aviv are my favorite from Gallivant, but I don't know what occasion I would wear Tokyo on. Interesting. So those two are my next two that I'm going to do. So let's try those next. Talking Sense, how are you doing? He says, evening. Carl Latham says, I think it's inspired by a Japanese Shinto ceremony. I almost didn't say a good word there. You know, someone else was on, when I did a live months ago, there's someone who lives in Japan from the West. I'm not sure what country. Could have been from the US, could have been Canada. I'm not really sure. Anyway, they live in Japan, expat in Japan. And they were talking about that type of Shinto ceremony. And I thought that was really interesting. Really interesting. It was like a incense type of ceremony. Different types of incenses they pass around or something. So, really cool. Talking Sense says, Gallivant love here. Great underrated house. Oh, lights are frizzing out here. Great underrated house, in my opinion. Yeah, I totally agree. So far, halfway through, really like them a lot. Tenshu 808 says, hi all, I'm thinking about getting the new Beau de Jour and Oud Wood. Would it be a great start with Tom Ford fragrances? How's the performance? So I haven't tried Beau de Jour yet. I'm not super excited about that. Tom Ford's private blend, I have almost but lost faith in the private blend, any of their new ones. Oud Wood, I think, is magnificent, with a caveat. I think it's fantastic, but I don't think it's one of his more accessible fragrances in that line. It's an interesting scent. Some people don't like it. I really like it. It's a real dry, woody scent. It doesn't really have a whole lot of oud in there, or if it does, it's not on the stinky side like a lot of ouds are. And it's like pepper and cedar and vetiver, and that's what I mostly get there, with a kind of a slight medicinal twinge on the top. I really, really love it. I think it's one of his best, but not too sure about Beau de Jour. I would say definitely try it. Definitely try both of them. Do not blind buy them. Indivent says, please review 4711 Aqua Colonia, Intense Awakening Woods of Scandinavia. Is that like 3 fragrances? I'm not sure. I don't know if there's supposed to be commas in between those or if that's all one thing. I don't know. It's super nice, unique, fresh, woody scent for $40 for 170 ml on Fragrance X. Interesting. I'll have to check it out. No Pause Wow, how are you doing? Says, remember when VIW was being sold for $65 on Amazon, $65? It was a price mistake that lasted for months. Really? Wow. That's crazy. Indivent continues about the fragrance. Scandinavia says, from Geza Schoen. Interesting. I'll definitely check him out. I like his fragrances a lot. All right, let's try some more real quick. Let's go Tel Aviv and Tokyo. All right, so we got Tel Aviv. And so they describe Tel Aviv as floral, fruity, warm, sun, white, Bauhaus, tan skin. All right, let's try it. When it says tan skin, I'm not liking it already. It's going to be like suntan lotion. At least that's what I think it's going to be when I say tan skin. All right, let's see. Yeah, that's okay. Is that ylang ylang? I normally like ylang ylang. It's a white floral scent. Might be a different floral, but it's something like that. Daniel D925 says, "Do it live!" Like Bill O'Reilly. Olive 11 says, "Aventus cologne greater than Aventus." What? You're insane. You need to submit that to my controversial opinions that I'm going to debate people in. Oh, sorry, my light's frozen out here. I'll get that later. So I'm going to do that next week. So thank you, everyone, if you submitted any kind of controversial opinion, a fragrance opinion. I'm going to do that next week. I was hoping to do that this week, but I may have a guest on for that surprise guest. It's not Jeremy. Okay, this is okay. Tel Aviv is okay. Not my favorite. Just a kind of, another kind of wet floral scent that I think is okay. All right, let's try Tokyo. Tokyo, they describe it as zingy, spicy, woody, a playful tribute to Kodo, which the Japanese way of fragrance. Okay, so Kodo, I think, is that that ceremony that we were talking about earlier. All right, let's try it. It's pretty good. Very incensey, very zingy, like I said. It's got that spicy, incensey, woody thing going on. I think that's okay. I think if you like incense type fragrances, I think you'll like this. There's another fragrance that it reminds me of, though. Several fragrances it reminds me of. Okay, so this reminds me of one of the incense line from Comme des Garçons. And then there's something else that reminds me of, like deep in the back of my brain, there's something that reminds me of. Okay, that's okay. Tokyo's pretty good. All right, answer some more questions real quick and we'll get to smelling the other two. We got the last two, we got our Los Angeles and Amsterdam. So far, I think that Berlin and Brooklyn were my favorites. Istanbul was also really good. Oh, that's right, London was excellent. Yeah, London was excellent. Let's see, Brooklyn. Yeah, Brooklyn is kind of, it's really good and also strange. All right, let's see here. Got the crazies out today, I see. All right. Fragmental says, Cord blimey, governor. Oh, man. Man, I'm way behind on these. Let's see here. All right, there we go. Olive 11 says, Tom Ford's Beau de Jour is probably the greatest Tom Ford private blend yet, and I own about 20 plus. It is the finest masculine he's put out since Moss Bresh, but better, unreal. There's not more hype. Interesting. Okay, so I'm definitely trying that. I'm going to get a sample this week. The Bureau Nerdy Fragrance Review says, I definitely need to sample these. Yeah, totally. Oh boy, hey, let's not get in an argument here. No pause wow talking to Fragmental about Aaron Terrence Hughes, this fragrance line. Let's not get dirty here. Da Vinci's Alchemist says, I'm curious if Los Angeles is all that similar to Cobra and the Canary. From the few notes I've heard, I have it in my head that it is. Okay, we'll try it. We'll definitely try that in a minute. No pause. Wow. Let's stop talking about Aaron Terrence Hughes, okay? Or I'll kick you out. Talking Sense, talking about London, says, no, it's a really sparkly, clean rose, like a glass rose or something, LOL. I can see some rose in there. I see something else, though. It doesn't smell super rosy to me. It smells like something else. Could be wrong, though. You could be right. Or maybe we're both wrong. Let's see here. Let me see. Oh, golly, got a lot. Just looking through comments here, guys. Let's see. When did he do that? All right. I'll put him in timeout. Da Vinci's Alchemist says, LOL, that's Australia. Talking about crikey. Yeah. Rich Mitch says, apparently you can layer Cologne Royale from Dior Privé with any other fragrance in the line. I remember you saying that earlier. I just don't think I don't think I would ever want to do that. Like, I couldn't think of layering Cologne Royale with Fève Delicieux or even like Ombre Nuit. And Ombre Nuit, I think, is a little bit more neutral. I think they would probably be good together, probably, but I would never do that. Cologne Royale by itself is just like one of the greatest citrus scents. It's just so good. All right, let's see here. Man. Talking Scent says, that wasabi opening on Tokyo is bizarre, quite unique for a blue scent. Reminds me a bit of Issey Miyake Nuit Issey, but better. Not a big fan of Tokyo. Olive 11 says, Beau de Jour is amazing. Rich Mitch says, ate a dodgy sushi and nearly shintoed myself once. Olive 11 says, Beau de Jour is a return to form. Oh, goodness gracious. Golly, my light's attacking me. Turn that off. Jeez. All right. Beau de Jour, Olive 11 says, Beau de Jour is a return to form. Beau de Jour is vastly superior to Oud Wood. I definitely got to try that if it's vastly superior. Bobby Boucher says, what do you think of the new Acqua di Gio? I haven't tried it yet. That's a line that I don't really get to try a whole lot. There's certain flankers I just never want to hunt down. And Acqua di Gio, excuse me, the Acqua di Gio line is just one of those lines that I just don't really, it's not at the top of my priorities to hunt down. Issey Miyake is the same thing. Like, they'll make, in CK1, they're going to always do a new flanker of their fragrances, and I almost care less and less each year. So, but I feel like I should try that one. I've heard good things about it. Noah Gioschio, sorry Noah, says, my favorite from the private blend line is Plum Japonais. Yeah, that's a good one. It's not my favorite, but I do like it. Basil Tiffany says, I want to get a couple of deer to start a YouTube channel and call it Fragrance Does. That's funny. The only thing, though, is that people are going to think it says Fragrance Does and not Does. So then you have to spell Doughs and be a baker. You can be the Fragrance Does. I don't know. Rocky Malamute says, just ordered the Gallivant sampler set, 25 pounds plus free shipping, free delivery, and 25 pounds off a purchase of 30 ml bottle. Wow, that's a great deal. So you get you order the samples, and then you get a coupon for the cost of your samples off of a bottle. That's great. So you get the samples for free. Ghost Hunter 86, another one of my favorite names, says, hey Dave, I just got Creed Aventus Cologne. Oh my God. Got good reactions. It's a love for me. What do you think about it? So I actually have a review about that one. I do not like it. I think it's one of the worst from last year. And I shouldn't say that I don't think it's bad necessarily. It's not as good as Creed can do. It's Creed not caring is what it is. So Creed can make a fragrance and just knock out fragrance notes and just not care, and that's what this is. So it's kind of a more citrusy, if you needed more citrus, on Aventus plus Chanel Allure Homme Sport. And so that's what I don't like about it. I think it doesn't smell like Creeds normally smell. It doesn't necessarily remind me a lot of Aventus, and it just smells cheap. There are other fragrances I think you could do better with, and so yeah, I'm not a fan of it. All right, let's see here. Catch up on a couple more questions real quick, and then I'll get to Los Angeles and Amsterdam. Rich Mitch says, big fan of Malamute. I see Malamutes from time to time in town. Olive 11. I'll write it. We'll do it live. We'll do it live. DJ Genki says, hey, Dave, have you tried Escada fragrances? Yeah. Escada is kind of like barely above body spray. That's how I see them anyway. And I know for a while, for several years, they would make fragrances that were like limited releases, and you couldn't get them outside of the time that they were making them. And I always thought that was like stupid, and I still think it's stupid if fragrance houses do that. I don't know if they're still doing that or not. Their female fragrances are just like, floral, fruity trash. And, they're not that great. I know some people really liked Escada Magnetism for men, but I never got to try that. I always wanted to try it, though. Olive 11 says, Aventus smells like geeky deodorant. my favorite type of deodorant. Talking Sense says, is Amsterdam in that set, Daver? That's got some funky florals in it. So it's not in the set, but they sent me two single ones of Amsterdam and Los Angeles. So that is a good segue. Let's go ahead and try it real quick. Los Angeles. See, they describe Los Angeles as sunset people, neon signs, sultry glamour, a hot and sensual woody floral, cooled with a marine breeze. Okay, I know what marine breeze means. All right. Ooh. I like that. I like this a lot. But my only problem with this is it reminds me kind of like a candle. like a candle that you would go and smell, like Yankee Candle or something like that. But it is good. It is floral, definitely. It has a really interesting. It's a really interesting composition. It's like a hot, spicy quality with florals, and then there's marine notes, like that salty thing going on. But the saltiness doesn't smell too strong to me. It's just way in the background, and you can smell it here and there. The more I smell this, the more I really like it. Talking Sense says, I don't own Los Angeles yet. Good to hear your first impressions on it. Yeah, definitely try this one, Talking Sense. I want to keep smelling that. So that, I think, is a good sign. So I need to come back to that for sure. All right, let's smell Amsterdam. Last in the line here, as far as I know. I don't know if they have any more, but I think this is the last one in the line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Da Vinci's Alchemist says, wow, nothing like Cobra and the Canary. No, definitely not. Nothing like Cobra and the Canary at all. Cobra and the Canary, to me, strong vetiver, and I think, was it sandalwood or something in there? But really strong masculine scent. This, to me, smells more on the feminine side to me. It's interesting. You know what's funny, too, is it's Los Angeles. Los Angeles, home to crazy people. This would suit a crazy person. I mean that in every connotation. All right, let's try Amsterdam. I'm guessing there's going to be cannabis in this. At least that's what I would hope. I think there is. I can smell it in the air. Amsterdam says, floral, spicy, woody, flowers, freedom, feeling cozy. Okay, I think there is a cannabis note in here, but it's not super dank. That is... This is odd. Again, I think I smell like a little bit of a Play-Doh rose in the background there. Not super forward, but in the background. Floral, yes. Spicy, yes. Woody, yes. So I think there's kind of flowers and like a cannabis type of thing. It's got to be cannabis. I mean, I would think that they would put cannabis in an Amsterdam type of thing. Talking Sense says, I think all Gallivants are a little bit eccentric. I always say that when I review them, LOL. They would make an amazing signature scent for someone slightly eccentric. Yeah, definitely. Talking Sense says, the weird floral and spice, right? Weird, yes. Christy, hey, how are you doing, Christy? So, I like this. I wish, man, this is one of those scents I wish Dan were alive, Dan Mish, because I would send it to him because he would like this, because I think that it would be right up his alley. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. Los Angeles, really cool. I think Los Angeles is cool. So I think my favorites, let's go back and smell it real quick. Berlin, really good kind of plain and green citrus scent, like that one. Very wearable. That's probably one I would wear all the time. Joe Robertson, hey, how are you doing? He says, Dave, how are you doing, brother? Rich Mitch says he loved him some Skanky Oud. You're right. Carl Latham says there's violet in Amsterdam. Is there really? Man, I can't smell it. I'm not saying I disagree with you, but I can't smell it. Is it violet leaf, maybe? Anyway, Brooklyn, really good. Brooklyn has like a citrus cola type of thing. Istanbul, excellent, excellent amber. Wow, one of the best. That is excellent. London may be my favorite, but it's not something I could really wear though. It's floral and very leathery. Interesting. Tel Aviv, what was Tel Aviv like? I don't remember what Tel Aviv was like. Not a fan. Oh yeah, that's right. It was that kind of ylang ylang watery thing going on. Joe Roberts saying this is Gallivant. The series is called Gallivant. They name all their fragrances after cities, so certain places. Really cool line. So I just finished the whole line. So you can all of it. Rocky Malamute says, David, have you tried any Insar Oud? I think I tried one from them and really liked it, but haven't tried many. Talking Sense says, yeah, London top tier all day long. Yeah, definitely. London is excellent, but it's too floral for me to wear. To me, this is like a really classy floral scent. And that leather in there, that to me is like really what makes it. That's really good. Tel Aviv, not so much. That's kind of a boring ylang ylang. Tokyo is really interesting if you like incense. To me, I don't really like incense, so this is not my thing. But it's done really well. It's not just a boring incense. Sometimes incense fragrances can be kind of boring. It's like a cocktail of incense. It's good. Los Angeles, another one I think is top tier. Really bizarre. Man, I don't know what that is. I keep coming back to it. Oh man. It's kind of repulsive and attractive at the same time. I like that one. And Amsterdam is kind of a similar thing. Really funky. Amsterdam is really good. That's gotta be. It's not like a typical kind of, it's not like a typical cannabis type of smell, but that's gotta be what they're going for. Because it has kind of a funky type of smell to it, but in a good way. And it's got a little bit of rose in there too, it smells like. Joe Albertson says, a bit off topic, but have you found travel decant brands that works well for you? Atlanta is right around the corner. So that's two different things here. Travel decant brand that works well. So you can get decants. So the place that I usually go for decants is eBay. That's usually the place that I go for. You can get just like you can get them from like China, which I know some people really aren't wanting to get stuff from China right now, but you can get them from, the cheap ones are from China. And you can just get some cheap ones there. You can get them in almost any size you can think of, 2 mil, 3 mil, 5 mil, 10 mil. And so that's what I usually get from them. I just get them from eBay. The plastic ones to me are better than the glass ones because the glass ones break and they're really thin. If you drop them, they will shatter. So I usually always get the plastic ones. I don't like to get the big ones and store stuff in the big ones because they inevitably will evaporate out of them. So I usually get just small ones. And if I'm going on a trip, I usually don't need much more than a travel size spray of something that's my favorite anyway. So that's usually what I go for. And usually, like if I go on vacation, I usually only take like 2 or 3 little travel size things, and that's it. But you can get those really cheaply too. You can get like a pack of 10 or more. Like I've gotten like packs of hundreds at a time before, and they're really cheap. They're cheaper if you get them from China. Even at a lower volume, they're still cheaper. But you can get them from the States still here too. That's usually what I go for. There's other ones that are They're like more of a like deluxe travel atomizer type thing. And I've seen them before where you get them and you take off the top or the bottom really, and you can kind of load the decant onto almost like I don't want to do this here, but like the bottom of the decant has like a hole in it, and you can take off the stem of the bottle and then put the hole on the stem and then just kind of pump it and it'll shoot juice up in there. This is sounding really bad. Someone's gonna cut this up and make a meme out of it, I'm sure. But they've gone the deluxe style. I don't necessarily like those just because they're more expensive and they don't add anything that you can't do without the whole process. So I usually just get the other ones. Joe Robertson says, you went there. But I'm not going to Atlanta this year. All right, let's answer some more questions here. Let's see, I'm way behind. All right, let's see here. Talking Sense says layering is for monsters. I totally agree. I don't like layering at all. I think the idea of layering is not from the perfumer's perspective. I think it's from the sales associate's perspective, so they can sell you two different fragrances. I don't see any benefit in layering. It just seems like if they wanted a fragrance to smell a certain way, they would just put it in the fragrance the first time. Carl Latham says, LOL, timeout. Yeah, if someone's gonna be rude, I'm just gonna put them in timeout here. Okay, let's see. Man, I'm way behind. Okay, there we go. Olive 11 says, Comme des Garçons already put out a perfume called Kyoto. Yeah, I think that might be the one that reminds me of Tokyo. I think that's it. Francis How-Tos and Reviews says, Silver Mountain water is intoxicating to me, and I feel like spraying it all over, but I don't because it's expensive. Silver Mountain water is great. I think it's one of their best. What's funny is I think it actually works better on a woman. But I do like, I think it does smell good on guys too. I just think it smells even better on a woman. Carl Latham says, fair, Tel Aviv isn't worth the price, but reminds me of Santiago, Chile. Interesting. Yeah. Tel Aviv isn't that great. Kirk F. says, Slumber House Sova is the greatest autumn perfume of the last 5 years. Totally agree. It's amazing. It's amazing. I was going to get the new one, but I just never got it. So they were going to actually send it to me, and something happened. I don't know where it went. But I'm really interested in trying the new one. The new version is supposed to be a little bit different than the older version that I have. And the older version, I think, is amazing. Maybe it's not the most wearable scent, but it is an absolutely incredible autumn scent. It's just amazing. Carl Latham says, Berlin is the perfect formal fragrance for summertime, I think. Let me try that again. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, to me, it doesn't smell very formal. I could see you probably wearing it in a formal situation just because it smells nice. But it doesn't smell super formal to me anyway. Excuse me. All right, let's see. I'm just going through the questions here. Some of them I'm not sure if it's from me or from other people. Olive 11 says, Moss Brush is back from when the private blend was nuclear in strength and quality. Things are much more subdued nowadays. Yeah, I totally agree. There's just they've been really hit or miss with the private blend lately. Haven't been too excited about everything I've tried lately. I've been really disappointed mostly. All right, let's see here. Noah. Noah says, dad jokes on point right now. I'm a dad, man. They just come out. Once you become a dad, there's like a certain time when your kids become a certain age and the switch just goes, and you just go dad joke mode all the time. Dan T says, does it have the church type of incense? Amber Absolute does. I think you're talking about Tokyo. Tokyo does not to me. So frankincense is really what, to me, what kind of communicates that churchy type of incense, but it doesn't have that to me. Basil Tiffany said, greatest creed ever was Tabarone Millesime. I mean, when it first came out, not the current one. So I tried that one years ago, probably about 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, and I thought it was great. I don't know if that's the current version or if it's the old one. I'm not really sure. But yeah, it was really good. Ryan Huerta says, Aventus Cologne is not bad. It was just a letdown because of high expectations. I agree and I disagree to a point. I know what you mean, like it doesn't smell bad, but to me, I think it is in the bad category just because it was not well made. It just seems like a really kind of pedestrian citrus scent. And that doesn't seem like what Creed stands for. Man, got a lot of people talking to each other. Vance's How-Tos and Reviews says, no fragrance has ever lasted an entire day on me, no matter what I try. Can you recommend anything that would be beast mode that smells similar to Silver Mountain Water? I know I'm asking for a beast of a light cologne. Yes, actually. So, Vance, there's a fragrance by, what is it by? Man, it's that Italian one, that Italian house. Xerjoff. Xerjoff makes Mephisto. Mephisto by Xerjoff smells similar to Silver Mountain Water, but a lot stronger. And to me, I think it smells a little bit more masculine than Silver Mountain Water. Definitely check out Mephisto. That's excellent. It's an excellent, excellent fragrance. All right. Man, a lot of questions here. Okay, let's see here. Vance's How To's and Reviews says, I watch most fragrance reviewers here, and I've been noticing Carlos has not been well, if you know what I mean, and I'm worried. Do you have any insight on what on how he's doing? I'm not really sure. I haven't talked to him in a while, but I don't really know. I don't really want to speculate on anything, especially if I haven't talked to him or not. I know there's a whole kind of drama thing going on with him and another fragrance reviewer, and I just don't want to get into that. All right, let's see here. Christy says, I love those weird Gallivant scents. Love that concrete oily thing in Los Angeles. Being from LA, it's pretty realistic after the rain. Never to be worn out of the house. Yeah, LA is this, okay, first of all, LA itself is a strange place. My dad lived in Corona, funny enough, Corona, California, just right outside LA. And so I went there a couple of times, and I was just never impressed with LA. Like, outside of like the weather was fine, but I just never, I never wanted to live there. It just never seemed like a place that I wanted to go to ever again. Yeah, and this scent right here is weird, but I like it too. Joe Robertson says, that's what I've been considering, the plastic decants. I've been told to seal them with plumber's tape, though. Thanks. Yeah, that's what I do, too. It depends on which ones you get. So if you get, like, the 2 or 3 mil ones that look almost like sample sprays, kind of like this size right here, that, to me, is enough for just short trips, or even, like, you can get several days' worth of wearings out of a size like this, depending on how you apply. Those, though, the ones that are this size, the tops just snap on, so you don't need any kind of tape on there. But if you get some that are 5 mils and above, then you kind of need that tape. And plumber's tape is really cheap. You can find it, at like Walmart, or I got mine at like Harbor Freight, just really cheap for like $2 or something. They give you like 8 of them. And so I did that. But that is really only going to kind of, that can be a problem by itself, though. So if you do it the wrong way, and if you fill it up too much and you do the tape the wrong way and it goes over the lip or something, then the fragrance will actually get into the tape, and then it'll kind of act like a sponge, and it'll do the opposite of what you want it to do, which is seal moisture out. So you kind of have to put it around the bottom of the threads and do it that way. And then you put it when you tighten up the thread tape, do it the opposite way of how you twist it on. So that way, whenever you're twisting it on, it doesn't untwist the tape itself. Joe Robertson says, who will be there talking about influential? Yeah, yeah. He probably will. I mean, I don't really care if he's there. I just don't really... Going to influential, I didn't really see much of a benefit to going there after the times that I went. I guess it's cool. The coolest thing to me was getting to talk to a couple of people that I really respect. And then outside of that, it wasn't much of a benefit. Rich Mitch says, what is the most animalic fragrance that you like? That's a good question. What's the most animalic fragrance that I like? Most animalic fragrance that I like? I'm not sure. I'm not a huge animalic fragrance unless you consider like musk, which is considered an animalic note. And then that opens up a whole floodgate of fragrances that I like. But I'm not really sure. Usually when people think of animalic, they think of like really kind of skanky things like castoreum and civet and things. Basil Tiffany says, I'm impressed by the Lush line of frags. Yeah, so I tried Lush and I'm actually not as impressed, but I need to try them more. I haven't tried many in a long time, so yeah. Dan T, can you find Profumum Aroma at discounters? I have not seen them at discounters. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't. They seem like a pretty kind of tight-knit distribution there. I'm not sure if you can find them anywhere else. Maybe I'm wrong, though. Talking Sense says, David, do you have any thoughts on Hermes Queer d'Ange? I watched your review on it a couple of days ago. It was old, though. Wonder if it's still stuck in your mind at all, possibly a next blind buy. So I love that scent. When I reviewed it, I really, really loved it. And I still do. I think it's really great. There's another Dior that kind of smelled in a similar range. I forgot what it was. Queer Canage, I think, is the one by Dior in their private line. I don't know if they have it anymore. Queer d'Ange, I think, is excellent. It has like that skin thing. You watched my review, you know, I got this one comment that said it smelled like Band-Aids. And then when they said that, I was like, it does. It smells like Band-Aids. So if maybe that is appealing, maybe it's not. But it smells kind of like Band-Aids in a perfumey type of way. Now, I think it smells good. I like that smell. But I think that it's recognizable enough to where if you smelled like that in a strong enough way, people might thought you smell like Band-Aids. Rich Mitch says, as we grow older, we come to appreciate our forefathers' terrible wit. Mine's not terrible. My kids just need to appreciate me. Rocky Malmute says, I appreciate Old Spice. You know, I used to love Old Spice when I was a kid anyway. I can still appreciate it. I appreciate it from kind of a fragrance that kind of is in the bay rum type of aftershave category. It kind of is in that realm of bay rum. Rich Mitch says, Queer d'Ange is waxy. It is a little waxy. That's kind of what I like about it, though. Basil Tiffany says, yes, blind bought some. Didn't seem, I think you're talking about the Lush fragrances, isn't that right? Says, blind bought some. Didn't seem like much of a gamble since I liked the first 8 or so. I bought it in store. Oddly enough, the ones they sell online are very niche. Good, but a bit weird or strange. Interesting. Rich Mitch says, LA strikes me as a place that is impressed with itself for not being impressed with itself. Self-hatred on tap. Yeah, definitely. Christy says, LA weather is great if you can enjoy it through the smog. I live in Southwest Virginia now, so yeah. Howdy, fellow Southerner. Hey, I love Virginia. I think it's just a great place. So my family and I, we go up to the Boston area every year, so we'll be going there this summer again. And we like to drive there. For one, it's about the same cost to drive there as it is to fly. But then you get to have a car while you're there, so you don't have to rent a car while you're there. And on top of that, you don't have to bring your car seats for the kids on the plane, so it's just a lot more convenient. Anyway, that said, there are a couple of places that we drive through that to me are like high points of the drive, and Virginia is like one of the high points of the drive. Olive 11 says, did you ever smell Slumber House 6s and 7s? I did not. I really wanted to try it, though. I knew I wouldn't get a chance to really try it unless I just bought it, and I didn't want to buy it blindly. So, but yeah, it's like a limited release from Slumber House. If I'm not mistaken, that was supposed to be like really animalic. Serapio Silva says, Daver, I went to Lush Boutique, but they don't have Lord of Goathorn. Where can I buy it? I'm not really sure. That may have been like a limited thing for them. I looked when I went a few years ago for Lord of Goathorn, and I didn't see it either. And that was like a year or two after I tried it on the channel. What's funny is, this is a funny story about Lush. So Lush, when I went, they have these fragrances, and they're all named after, I think, qualities or something like that. I remember one of them, I don't remember what it was, but I was talking to this lady that worked there, this younger lady, and she was asking me what I like in fragrances and like stuff like that. And we were talking about the fragrances, and she was kind of guiding me through a couple of them. And then she got to Lust, and she was talking about Lust for the fragrance, and says, there's not a lot of people that really like this. And I smelled it, and I was like, I love this. And I just remember, like, it was like a really kind of awkward, but not really awkward, almost intriguing type of moment there. And then I just remember looking over, and I left, and my wife was like looking at me. It was a really funny moment altogether. And it had nothing to do with the lady that was helping me or whatever. It was just really funny overall. Basil Tiffany says, I'm from Boston. Interesting. Do you live there currently, or is that just where you're from? Serapio Silva says, Daver, I did smell Lord of Misrule at Lush. It smells good, actually. Try it. So I haven't heard of that one, so I got to go try that one. It's definitely not Lord of Goathorn, then. Unless you're trolling me. Talking Sense says, LOL, thanks for your thoughts. Yeah, thank you, man. Joe Robertson says, LOL, Band-Aid Accord, question mark. This could be a good whole new genre of fragrances, hospital scents. Yeah, there are fragrances that really remind people of hospitals. That, I guess, is one of them. Talking Scent says, I always thought Baccarat Rouge has a strong Band-Aid scent thing going on too. Interesting. I didn't really get that. I have to go back and look into that. Chris N. said, my son said Gucci Guilty Absolute smelled like a doctor's office, but he loved it, and so do I. Rich Mitch says, Lone Star Memories from Tower has a hospital vibe too, astringent. So, okay, so that's interesting. So I know that in the UK, there's like a different association with hospitals in the US, and I think it has something to do with the cleaning products that they use or something. So I would love to go to a hospital, to visit a hospital, in the UK just to see what it smells like. Basil Tiffany says, Lord of Goat Horn is only available online. Okay, interesting. I would say go check that out, but I mean, I cannot recommend that you try that. Coconut LaCroix, everyone, really good. All right, let's see here. Rich Mitch says, I found fragrances with vetiver and leather have a medicinal vibe. Just something I've noticed. Interesting. Basil Tiffany says, live here currently, talking about Boston. Oh, cool. I might be, I don't know what I'm going to do in Boston, but I need to do something fragrance related there while I'm there. So I'm not sure. I may see if I can do some kind of thing. I don't really know. We'll see. Basil Tiffany says, we'll be moving to Chicago in a few months, though. Okay, excellent. Well, have a safe trip there, then. Strapio Silva, David, describe Lord of Goat Horn objectively. How does it smell? To me, it smelled like fish and sulfur. It was not good, not pleasant at all. Strapio Silva says, Lord of Goat Horn is all about seaweed absolute. Maybe that's why I didn't like it. And I think that's all the questions we got. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you for coming here and for indulging me on this Gallivant. I'd love to know your thoughts on the line and what you think of Gallivant. If you tried it, let me know. And but I really like this line, and I think I have a few favorites here. I'm definitely be doing like a full review of one or a couple of them or something. So we'll see how that goes. But again, thank you everyone for joining me on the live, and I hope you have a great night or a great day wherever you are. And I will see you later. I have a video going up tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, talk to you guys later.